just me or is there spinach over here? There's spaghetti models and empty rum bottles, and sometimes Louis says hi. Hey, Louis. But you don't get no hurries and don't have no worries, cause we're drunk donkey nationwide. Everybody now. Flies where the page. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's flies where the page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Did I ever tell you the story of the drunk donkey? Once upon a time, there was this weather woman. You can come as a pilot, you stay kind of quiet, but you know you love watching mice play. So put your cone head shirt on, watch it live on your phone, and drink drunk donkey beer all day. You know that mice where the place. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's mice where the place. You know he won't let us all get blown away.
All right, everybody. What's up? How you like that fade in? We did that last year. That was our high-tech redneck edition, the fade in. All right, so we'll let the song play out and say hello to everybody as we do. Probably getting a little more people in here today. Topics are waking up. Did the song just end? I don't know. There's my truck. The headlights on. Had a lot of people reach out about the transmission yesterday. I appreciate it. I believe my buddy Jason actually mailed me one. We'll see if it works or not. But I think we'll have the transmission working good, I hope. Just in time for storm chasing season. There he is right there. What's up, Jason? All right, so what we got cooking? This is our Daily Brew. Welcome to the new people. Hello, people. We've been doing our Daily Brew show now since 2016, every morning during Monday through Friday, and a lot of times at night and a lot of times on the weekend. We might have to go maybe tomorrow, maybe, if things keep getting a little more active. This is Louis. Louis's been part of the show now for 5 years. We've been opening the show with Louis. We even got a coffee cup made with Louis on it. I need my Louis in the morning. Long tradition. You know it's time, Shelly. We can't run. I am just a social mediaologist. I'm not official. I always have to say that when things get busy. I'm just a weather hobbyist that has a passion and self-taught over the years. So always refer to the National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center for official information. But we got a lot to talk about today. A lot of ifs, ands, or buts. First off, there's nothing imminent. There's nothing to worry about. There's no storms out there. So let's not get too worked up just because we see 4 circles out there, okay? When we have major hurricanes, we do have one in the Pacific. Listen, I'm 99% Atlantic. We'll talk about Hilary for sure, but 99% of what I cover is on the Atlantic side. So no disrespect to the Pacific. I try to cover that a little bit more. In fact, if you go to the website, I have all the graphics and links on the Hilary over there if you need it. Spaghetti models, tropical tidbits, all the National Hurricane Center information. So we'll get into it a little bit for sure, but we're going to talk about the Atlantic first because that's where most of our fans are from. So our Daily Brew is fun. It's, we get together all year long, even when there's no weather. It's brought to you by our good friends at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits here in Florida. It's Friday, so if you live in Florida, you know what that means. You're stopping there on the way home, I hope, for the weekend ahead. It's going to be a wet weekend in the peninsula. We'll go over that later. But we appreciate ABC and all they do for us. Now, I just posted this a second ago. I'm going to talk about it real quick. Nobody got it, so I deleted the post. Dr. Bill Gray, famous hurricane forecaster, for many years would ring a bell on August 20th, and it became famous because that's basically what he called the official start of the real hurricane season. So I thought about that today. I actually had to Google it because I remember ring the bell. I forgot his name, let's be honest. But I Googled ring bell hurricane season. It popped up, so that's what that meant. So if you're wondering, not one person got it, but Google it if you want. I just wanted to share that so everybody knows what the heck that cryptid message might have meant. All right, so we're going to get into things here in a minute. I always say hello to some folks. I try to catch everybody. TJ's in California. Yep, we're going to show some stuff. TJ, go to spaghettimodels.com. I got all the graphics on there. Huge flooding potential in the south there, southwest, especially California. We'll get into all that. Jonathan over there in South Carolina. What's up? Banjo the cat. Hey, dogs and cats can get along, right? Maybe you got a girlfriend. Would you like a kitty cat? Morning from the Space Coast, Kathy. Man, we're getting a lot of people blocked over here. I don't know why, Shelly. Why do they do that? There's nothing they said. Mike Soul, good morning. My man. What's up there, Brian from Sunrise Fire Rescue? Any interesting fire calls overnight? Alberto, Louis does not have a hangover, I don't think. Were you out last night drinking? Lori from Bermuda, you got Invest 98.99 and the new yellow spot. There's nothing really guaranteed on any of this stuff. We're going to go over all of it here in a minute. Louisa, good morning. Eric, what's up, buddy? Yeah, Eric, we're going to talk about that. I'll talk about it here. We have no Cat 6. By the way, I've done a bunch of TikToks. If you're wondering, seems like that girl became the #1 meteorologist on the planet because she called a Cat 6 was coming to Florida and North Carolina. So there's no Cat 6 September 6th that I know of. My buddy Yohel, what's going on? Have a cigar and rum for me, bud. Gray Space from St. Martin. That's pretty cool. Down there in the Caribbean. Dolores from Corpus Christi, Mississippi. We got people from all over the U.S. and abroad. So, oh no, Louis. What the hell's that, buddy? Louis had some, I don't know what that was. Louis left some dirt on me. I hope that was dirt. I got my new Pineapple Willie shirt. He's already stained it. All right, so let's talk weather. Hey, I got to show you my new toy I just got. Look. Woo! Always have internet now. Thank you, Elon. Cannot not have internet. So I'm so excited to hook that up. That'll be the new addition. We will never not have internet. One way or another, we will have internet. All right, so here we got 4 spots. Let's go to this map right here. Well, let's leave it right here. So, all right, so we got Invest 98, Invest 99. These are areas that they investigate. They're official spots. When we have investigative areas, we have real spaghetti models. I have them linked on the site. TropicalTidbits.com has them. Levi lets me put them on the site, and of course it directs back to his site. So these are real invest areas. The yellow spots are not invest areas yet. There's really no true defined center yet. So when they don't have a true defined center, they don't have spaghetti models. But these are going to be the ones to watch for sure. 99, 98 aren't really doing much. 99's fizzling a little bit. If you've been following me, I know I've been talking a lot about 99. A piece looks like it did want to organize out ahead of it, and this is going to enter the Caribbean. So that's going to happen. 99 looks like it might fizzle. 98, hopefully just a fish storm. So that's what's cooking there. Let's see here. This is a Canadian model. So I shared this earlier, Tropical Tidbits. The only reason I shared it was I kind of laughed out loud because every year some models perform better than other models. This Canadian model actually sums it up pretty good. This is next Tuesday. no guarantees with any model, obviously, but I just kind of chuckle because at one time the Canadian model was the worst model on the planet. And now it's actually doing pretty darn good, actually, as far as operational. The reason I shared so many ensemble runs is because these operational models have been all over the place this year. It's been really hard to get a handle on systems, but ensembles give you a little bit better picture looking into the future. But this is next Tuesday. This is our Gulf low that, is coming across. This is very likely. We're going to get into this. This is our general low that they marked yellow now that I'm really curious about. Eventually it's going to turn north. We're going to have to really keep an eye on this one. This is 99 right here. Near in the Caribbean possibly as a rainmaker. I know we have people in Virgin Islands asking. So, 99 might sneak over here before it kind of does whatever. This is 98. And it's doing what it's supposed to do, kind of go in this direction. We'll have to keep an eye on for Bermuda. And then this is a new wave. This has been showing up long range. So that, in a nutshell, what we're going to look like next Tuesday. I can believe that for next Tuesday. Zoom.earth. We love this site. So over here in the Pacific, we got Hilary. Rapid intensification overnight. Powerful hurricane. It's going to cool down, or it's going to cool off, literally cool off over those cool waters. Massive hurricane over there, and it's going to skirt Baja California, and by the end of the weekend we're going to start to see effects going into the southwest United States. Now California has only seen 2 storms ever, I believe, since like 1900. One was a direct landfall, one was coming up through Mexico, so it's extremely rare for a tropical system to make direct impact into California. Like I said, if you go to the website on the bottom here, I have all the latest graphics, and you can see the track here, the National Hurricane Center track, showing you this. Hurricane watches are up for Baja California. They said by tonight we might start seeing hurricane watches up for California tonight, so keep an eye out for that. And it's going to be a legitimate storm. We might see 70-mile-an-hour sustained winds here as this thing approaches. And then the bigger threat, more than anything, is going to be... so there you go. 70-mile-an-hour, man. We are only 5 miles an hour away from hurricane right here. So California's never had a hurricane make landfall. Now, this is going to come up through Baja, so technically it wouldn't be a landfall, which is really weird to say that. But... still, man, 70 mile an hour officially with wind gusts of 60 mile an hour. So, yeah, my bad. No hurricane, but still wind gust 70. So, scratch that. I was 10 miles an hour off. But the track's the same. It's going to put it smack dab really close to Los Angeles and San Diego. And the bigger story, more than anything, is going to be this flooding. We got a bad flood chance. In fact, I've never seen pink. That very rare for out west. Very rare they issue these high flooding risks. So this is going to be serious to watch. In the red, including Las Vegas. Yellow is just as bad. So we got a lot of population out here that's going to be dealing with some flooding rains. I mean, this is going to be a huge story in the making as we get into the early part of the week. And then the last is going to be power outages. When you add all this rain, trees, there's going to be a lot of wind that moves inland. So big story, a lot of power outages, a lot of rain. It's going to be a big deal. It is. We'll get into that maybe here in a little bit, but good to pay attention to that. We got a lot of people out there. We got a lot of people in Vegas that watch, so it's going to be significant. This is what it looks like everywhere else in the basin. One thing I wanted to note too, by the way, I guess Canada's having their worst wildfire season ever. And we know that because it's been pumping down Canadian smoke all year long. But these are all the active fires going on in Canada right now. Just unbelievable amount of fires. There's cities being evacuated. This is all happening right now. Zoom.earth. But if you look at what's going on in the Caribbean, so this is the wave that we're going to be watching. Let's get into everything really quick now. So there's a wave right here. This is going to scoot across Florida. We're going to watch that one first. A lot of rain for the Florida Peninsula this weekend, it appears, because of this wave right here. Some of the models are definitely showing a chance of organization as this thing approaches the Gulf early next week. And then the other areas, like I mentioned, are next on the list, and it's these little guys right here. So we'll get into all that with some models. All right, so first and foremost, I guess we'll look at tropical tidbits here as we always start out and look at the main operational runs, and we'll just see if they show anything organized yet or not. The tricky thing with these operational runs is they're not yet showing much, except for our Caribbean low, which I'm going to show you. So TroubleTidbits.com, European model, this is what we got as we get into the weekend. Darker blue areas are low pressure areas, so there's a new wave, 99, 98. You can start to see the low pressure develop over the Bahamas. And what I want to pretty much just point out, we'll stop at about right here. This is Monday morning. So Monday morning, we're starting to see a low in the Gulf. Nothing's organized on the main European model yet. Caribbean low is south of Hispaniola there. Starting to see signs that this could start to develop in the Gulf, which, you know, is going to be very likely. Low shear environment in the Gulf. The waters are super duper hot. There's a couple loop eddies, loop currents out there. So we're definitely going to see the potential that something's going to pop up quick here for the western Gulf of Mexico early week. 100% keep your eye on this, Texas. Even some effects up into the upper Gulf Coast. This thing wiggles a little more to the north. But what's really got my eye is this. This system's going a little deeper in the Caribbean. This is Wednesday. Now, overall, there's two things happening here. One, this system we're going to worry about, but we're also seeing a Central American gyre coming into play next weekend, which there's signs that we could see some juice popping up through the Pacific. So this whole general area is going to be watched because it's lowering pressures. If you remember about a week ago, I posted lowering pressures are on the horizon. Well, lowering pressures mean chances for storms to develop. We've already went over the dust a bunch. The dust is definitely lightening up a bunch. That's why sometimes you worry when that dust disappears in the dry air. But this has got my eye. I'm only going to mention it right now once until the afternoon models. But all the models are showing whatever's in the Caribbean to eventually turn to the north. That means Caribbean, Bahamas, yes, South U.S. needs to be watching this potential as this thing turns. But what's really got my attention more than anything is that the latest Euro is developing this over Western Atlantic, the hot spot of the year. And this is really interesting. Now, I don't know what, we haven't seen enough runs of it to worry yet, but I always talk about potentials on our little lives. But developing hurricane, and what's got me really, and by the way, look, going backwards here. So the 99 and 98, this is actually 99. All right, 99. That was wrong. 99 fizzles, but it could bring some rain to the island. Here's 98. This kind of fizzles out there, and there's our new wave off of Africa. So really the only thing to talk about are going to be these two things, Gulf and Caribbean right now. But upper level winds got my attention today as that right there. We know that high pressure has been dominating things. If we get a high pressure system blocking our potential storm, then we could be in for a little bit of stress on which way this thing's going to go. So it's not official by any means, but that caught my eye today big time. Things that catch my eye, I at least point out to you all. So, and the latest Euro kind of stalls out our system because it doesn't know where to go. So we'll keep an eye on that. That is something to definitely look at the 12Z models today and see what exactly happens. But again, Bahamas, Caribbean, we're watching number 2. I call this number 2. This guy right here. We're going to be watching this close like a hawk next week. And, we don't want a storm in the Western Atlantic. Trust me. So that's what we're gonna do. We look at trends. I'm not gonna post it until we see the 12Z model runs, but that's interesting to me. All right, so let's zoom in a little closer to some ensembles here, and show you what's happening in the Gulf of Mexico, and then we will zoom a little more on that. But again, hey, I know we got a lot of people watching, haven't watched in a while. I don't mean to not read the chats. I feel bad, but I like to get rolling on what most people are here for. So it's not that I'm being rude. I just don't get a chance to. And they come flying by so much. I don't get to see everything. But anyway, so I like to look at ensembles. Ensembles are a blend of each model run. And let's kind of zoom into what's cooking here in this general area. So this is weathernerds.org. These are the European models, which I love to death. And we're going to see. So you're going to see this low pressure. So remember, that low pressure that we're going to watch in the Gulf right now is over Hispaniola and right there. This is Sunday night right here. We're already seeing low pressure down in South Florida. I shared a rain map earlier. As farther down you go in the peninsula this week, heavy rains. That's because our low pressure is going to be scooting on by those clouds. But there's our low setting up. And here's our other low setting up. Lots of ensembles. So first off, let's rewind this a little bit. Boom, right here. This is this weekend. So nothing's changed, man. We've been talking about this for the Caribbean now. This weekend, don't get caught up on the lines because, we say all the time, the system's kind of big. So obviously this thing looks low, but doesn't mean you can't get effects of the storm to the north. That's why if you're looking at these spaghetti models down here doing this, why am I getting rain up here? Because the system's kind of big, The lines are just the center line of the low pressure area, not necessarily the effects. But yeah, so Caribbean, look at that. Here we go. This is the two areas we're watching. And here is Invest 98. No, 99. 99. I screwed that up yesterday. So again, people of Virgin Islands are all hoping to get some rain. Well, 99 has a decent chance. Now look at the numbers: 1,000, 5,000. Anything 1,000 plus is usually not a hurricane. So this is early next week. We could see 99 reaching the islands, but this is what we're looking at. This stop right there. This is Tuesday, Wednesday next week. So there you go. You got a lot of low pressure centers nearing the Western Gulf. A lot of these are not 900, but a lot of them have been in the thousands, but we're starting to see more below 1,000. Just because waters are hot. We know the Gulf can do things fast. Storms typically need more than 2 days over water to really become anything. So if this thing, the key is going to be what happens here will give a future of what happens here. Because if it starts to organize over South Florida, let's say, or even Western Atlantic, then we got something to worry about as this thing has time. But this is what it might look like Tuesday night, where it could be. And here's our ensembles for our new area, not 99 or 98. So this is going to be what's watched. Now watch what happens with our thinking. All of a sudden, so there we go. We're going to be watching this like a hawk into Texas. We'll diagnose that a little bit more. So far, there really isn't one main operational run showing much organization as far as anything too strong. But that doesn't mean we can't see something pop up. As we see with model trends, they always start out underestimated as they go, and we see trends. We saw trends with this Caribbean wave. Enough that I started questioning why I was talking about it, because I was like, I talked about it too much. Well, then we saw a circle last night. So trends are your friends. You you trust the models. Earlier this year, we had humans versus models. I was the human, failed too. Models are hard to go against. The model trends on this Caribbean wave, it's going a little deeper down into the Caribbean before it makes this turn. And it makes a sharp turn, which is really weird. But it is. So, and then it comes up here. It's hard to follow, I know, but you're seeing a lot of them just stopping. And then at 10 days, it's just kind of like everywhere. It's really hard. I know this makes no sense right now. Looks like a kindergartner. I bet you behind here, I keep all my special notes from the kids over the years. I wonder if I could find something the kids drew that looks like that. The kids have I saved all the stuff the kids do, and I have a secret spot behind my desk here that one day I'm going to pull this all out, and I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be like, well, look at that, Great American Teach-In. That was in 2017. Wow. Well, anyway, it looks like some kid drew that. But what it's telling you is this. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, enough that watching Florence years ago, models started doing this. People assumed it was going to be a fish storm. It's going to turn. But there was models doing different things. So there's confusion ahead with upper level steering currents. So we can't take our eyes off of this Caribbean system at all. So there's a lot of strong ones popping up here because it's going to have time over the Western Atlantic. 965, 960, 998, 939, 946. So the Euro's giving us a pretty decent chance here of developing. So the question is going to be, where does it go? And the 12Z run is going to be really interesting. So what I tend to look at is consistency. So what we're going to look at is when it's going to turn and what kind of steering currents we're going to have up ahead in about 9 to 10 days. Every 12 hours, we're closer to that. So modeling, I believe it's raining here. Oh my God, it's raining. It's raining. It's raining in Oldsmar. It's raining. So yeah, especially now we got a lot of people down in Hispaniola, believe it or not, watching. We got people in Jamaica watching. Ian, the timing on this timestamp would be next Wednesday. Okay, next Wednesday right here. Very interesting, for sure. Let's look at some other ensembles. We can look at SpaghettiOs. Kind of makes a clearer picture on what we're going. Here's that flooding chance. I already showed that out west. But let's look at some SpaghettiOs as it's raining hard. What's up, Mr. Beavis? Yeah, you're right, Mr. Beavis, Mr. Mayor. Raining. Anybody go to the Beyonce concert? Phil went. He didn't know one song. He went to the whole dang concert and didn't know one song. All right, so we're going to look at some SpaghettiOs here as the rain pounds my roof. And just kind of spreads. So again, what we're looking at is early next week here, weekend here, middle week here. Doesn't look like anything's going to happen in the Yucatan, if anybody's going that direction. All right, so here's your SpaghettiOs for the weekend. These are individual storm clusters from the Euro. You can start to see a couple of them popping here off of the Keys on Sunday. So if you got South Florida plans this weekend, it's going to be rainy, windy, potential for nasty weather. Big cluster of stuff here on Tuesday. Here's your storms taking shape, and this really looks like hell, actually. It didn't turn out like I was hoping. But it paints a pretty solid picture of what's going on, right? This tropical wave right here is going this direction this weekend. This guy right here. And the other thing that we're watching is a thing move around is this wave right here. This right here is going here and eventually going to turn. Two things to watch closely in the days ahead. 100%. Let's see here. So SpaghettiOs didn't do much what I was trying to get at. It does show you this, though. The darker red colors are strong hurricanes. So you got to remember, there's 51 members of the Euro. So this isn't like science as far as it's a guarantee. It's just telling you 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe, I don't know, what, 30% of the Euro is saying we could have a strong hurricane out here. There's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. These are just the Euro showing what after our turn, what happens. Does any of these go this way? Do they go this way? Do they go this way? So there's a blocking high coming into play on the latest run. Now this is a 12Z model. Now yesterday's afternoon run, notice the turn was earlier. This was yesterday. See, that turn was more over Puerto Rico and Hispaniola. See that? And the overnight run last night, the turn was later. So later would allow a more west track, and if there is a high pressure brewing, eventually more chances it would run into this high pressure and not guarantee a recurve. So it's interesting though, like I said, yesterday's 12Z had a lot of, possible hurricanes out of this system. A couple of them do go west. A couple of them kind of go to the east coast. So the Caribbean thing popped up quick. And now it's on the NHC radar. So 12Z is going to be so important to watch and see what kind of trends we have. I'm not raising the concern level up. Trust me, I'm not a hypist. Please, I've never hyped in my life, I hope. But just, I'm curious if we got something to worry about. As far as worry goes in the Western Gulf at this point, the worry level's low. I mean, trust me, there's a lot of folks out there need and want the rain. The system's not going to stop. The good news is the Western Gulf system's going to keep on trucking through the Northwest. So, things you would worry about with that system would be a stalling system or, some sort of a setup like that where we could have some serious flooding. But so far it looks like it's mainly going to be a just keep on going west kind of thing. I'm a little surprised the numbers, though, to tell you the truth. Well, they've actually picked up a little bit, a little more inland. I think these numbers are going to keep growing. This is a blend of models. See, not all the models are really locked in on the system yet. But you can see 1 to 2 inches inland. Let's look at Florida real quick on the rain, and then we're going to look at the Euro track. But here's your South Florida rains through the weekend. This is through the weekend. So you can see as the farther down in the peninsula you go, the rain chances are going to really come up. And this is because of that tropical wave passing by to the south. Panhandle, probably nothing. So if you're looking for a beach getaway, head to Panama City. Tell Mr. Mayor Mark that I said hey. So there's your rain, unfortunately. And it's already starting now. Here's, Saturday might not be the worst day. But Sunday for sure, man, things really get coming through as that wave passes by. So of the 2 days, Saturday is definitely the best day if you got outdoor plans for that. Let's go to Florida real quick and just show you that. So your Saturday rains versus, well, this thing kind of goes to default after that, so it's not high resolution. But anyway, Saturday looks a little better than Sunday. Euro, let's look at the Euro model rains. I really expect the rain chances to all start slowly increasing as this thing approaches and develops a little bit more. And they are. I've already seen it happen. Models have a hard time depicting rainfall on developing tropical systems. But, oh, hell yeah. Geez, big time. Unfortunately for Houston, we're going to see wiggles and wobbles to the north and to the south, obviously. This thing wiggles a little more in the north. Guess what? Louisiana, eastern Texas gets a lot more than this. So the main thing to look at right now is the fact that whatever that shows, if it wiggles to the north, that's what you'll get. You know, these little wiggles that we're going to get for sure. So there's hope if you want rain in Texas. This is Wednesday. You can see the system just keeps on trucking through the state and turns eventually. And it's actually going to turn in response to Hilary. So there you go. Could be some significant rain for whoever. That's the rainfall. So again, it's not going to stop. Yesterday's 12Z. Let's see if it was a little more to the north. It was. See a little bit of track change. So there was yesterday. And then today. So it went a little farther south. But I don't think future track's locked in place at all. At all. Individual runs, let's take a look at that. We can really zoom in here. Let's look at the Euro. It's showing a little more of a south run, which would mean rains to the north. Let's see if I get a little better map than this here. That's not really what I wanted. Kind of wanted southeast, but I wanted to show more of Texas. That's kind of it. I think we're locked into that right there. It might be better right here. I don't know. There you go. Well, anyway, here's your latest Euro. And, you know, again, the heavy rains to the north, as we see with any tropical system. That means we could see some strong squalls. Tornadoes are always possible. Hot water temperatures in the 90s in the Gulf there. So this is the latest Euro. Let's see what the 6Z showed. And the 6Z looks like it's about the same. The latest icon track is almost the same. Maybe a tick to the north, but you get the idea, man. This thing's, you know, it's gonna make a run at possibly being a named system. This is the icon. Heavy rain begins Monday into Tuesday as our system scoots across Texas there. Canadian showing about the same. So there's good confidence this thing might miss Houston. Sorry. I just talk about the tracks. I know there's so many people in Houston wanting the rain. Oh my God, I hit the GFS button. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So that's it. So Western Gulf, rainmaker, not too worried about anything yet. Developing anything too strong. It's not an invest yet, so we don't have any hurricane-specific models. It's got to become an invest before we get the H-WRF, the new HAFS model. These are the models that are new that are being used this year. Here's Hilary. So why is Hilary such a big deal? Tremendous rain, tremendous winds. It's going to go right up through all the way up into Nevada as a 998 pressure drop. When you have pressure in the 990s, you get a lot of wind, and it's going to bring a lot of wind to Lower California. I hope you all have your firm and power equipment out there ready to go. Gas them up. They're not used to tropical systems out west. Only two have ever made direct contact to California. We can actually zoom in a little closer, it looks like. Let me go to California here. I didn't notice that before. Southern California. All right, let's see if we get some winds. 10-meter wind gust. This pretty much just shows you that the winds are going to go up through there. I've never really liked the Euro wind gusts. The National Weather Service has a good wind page. I might have to link. But the rainfall is obviously the serious thing at this point. I mean, we're even 7 inches, 6 inches. I mean, it's just going to be a lot of rain. Lots of rain. All right, what else are we talking about? David, no, man, you have not heard. The dog is quiet, man. Hunter used to be. Hunter was so bad last year. I had to put him in the bedroom. He would annoy me so bad. He was so loud. He's gotten so much quieter, if that's possible. Richard Ford over on YouTube. I've asked wants to know about September. Listen, yeah, I totally am surprised how quick the switch. Now we've been, if you've been following me a long time, we've been sharing how the dust map, has been dropped. We talk a lot about the MJO. The MJO is entering an enhanced phase right now. Water temperatures there. All these things were stacking up that it was eventually going to happen. The African monsoonal season is expected to be higher than normal, meaning the rains off of Africa. It's just it's going to be busy. I mean, I typically don't remember. Last year we didn't have a system in August, so it's very rare. Look at that's East Pacific. I thought that was Africa. I'm like, what the hell is going on in Africa? A lot of less dust in Africa. It's and that's typically what happens. Here's Africa now. There's 3 defined areas again coming off. There's another one brewing. So there's basically this is why they call it the African wave train. This is what fuels systems once they get down to the Caribbean. And I talked a lot about this Central American gyre setup that's going on. We can go back to Tropical Tidbits for this. And what's interesting here, let's go to the Euro. So in a few days from now, this next weekend, middle of next week, going to next weekend, this whole gyre effect, the fact that the GFS really showed it well, that, look right here. All right, so just kind of focus on this right here, this whole area. So it's a phenomenon where you get a large, broad, low pressure area on both sides. Sometimes Pacific storms pull up into the dang Atlantic, and we're seeing possibility that could happen. But just kind of focus on the spin here. And what's fascinating is you can see that whole broad area spin. See that? That's fascinating. Look at that. That is really the definition of a Central American gyre. Now, the Euro is showing you this in 10 days, which is interesting. So on that same lines, right here, if you follow the barbs, you can see a large area of low pressure. But whatever's out here in the Pacific, middle of next week gets pulled up into that. And there's a little vorticity here doing the same thing. So it kind of gets tricky when you have these. But the fact that you have low pressure down there, always an area to watch when you have this setup. So I just thought it was fascinating to point out. The GFS really showing it. And look how the GFS pops up a little storm in the BOC and the Pacific there. So, another hot spot any time of the year is any little system in the BOC you never want, because they tend to get going there a lot easier because of the land, believe it or not, the nature of the land. So we're going to watch that as a potential. But what's really, over the past couple weeks here, or days, I've been really watching the Canadian model. And the Canadians done a really good job showing this wave eventually turning. I don't know when it started. I went way back in time there, but so here's another great example of Central American gyre right here. Just a huge low pressure area the end of next week. And here's our low here. This is the wave that number 2. We keep saying number 2. And it's showing it up right there. So there's really good consistency here. We're going to have some stuff to watch. Nothing solid enough to get worried about. This hard turn is really interesting to me, though. I really don't understand how a system's going to turn that hard. But bottom line, here's middle week low. You can see some energy coming up through the Pacific on the Canadian even. So there's a lot going on next week to watch. And this is the area that's really interesting the following weekend. I didn't even realize the Canadian showed that. I was too busy looking elsewhere. But there's that. in 10 days. So, but here's the latest run of the euro. You know, it just kind of stalls our system out. I would think we're going to see a different type of run come later, but you can just see it. This is a lot of days. I mean, look at it. This is Thursday next week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's telling you two things. One, the steering flow currents are stopping it from going anywhere, and two, it's going to let it have time to develop, and that's what you don't want. See, here's 984 develop on day 10. So, you know, again, you cannot. And listen, Mike, you can't get wrapped up in one run. But if you've been reading between the lines, we've been talking a lot about this turn up and potential here. So that's got my attention a little more than normal. They're not Invest yet, so we don't have spaghetti miles. But hey, listen, Invest 99 does. Here's the latest on Tropical Tidbits. There's your Invest 99. Not showing much organization, but everybody in the Virgin Islands has been asking me, we want rain. Well, you might get rain. This would be, what day is today? Today's Friday, so it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So maybe early week, Monday, Tuesday. These little timestamps here. So this is now 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours. So there's this time tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Bet you didn't know that, did you? You can learn a lot from a dummy. All right, so I'm going to read comments now. I hope I went over some stuff. I think I did. I don't know. Did I? High pressure block. Let's talk about weather really, really, really quick. This is fascinating. Look at this day 7 rain map. I think this is the most craziest thing I've ever seen. 7-day rainfall totals. I have never seen this before. Look, this is not right. That's going to get higher, trust me. South Florida, we know, is from that wave. But look at this high pressure area over the U.S. Unbelievable. I mean, I've never seen it like it. High pressure spin clockwise, right? Think about this. So these winds are pulling our system this way. These winds are pulling Hilary this way. So everything's affected by this high pressure. And eventually, whatever's here is going to turn with our high pressure. So the high is like a vacuum. It sucks out the moisture and pulls everything around it. That is fascinating right there. Unbelievable. But these are your rain map. These are your rain totals. Unbelievable rain. Look at this rain. Unbelievable rain. The whole half of California, several inches of rain up into Nevada. So Las Vegas. Maybe I'll fly to Vegas. Ooh. It'd be a fun place to storm chase. Anybody want to go to Vegas? Shelly, should I go to Vegas? Shay Tracy, how's the puppies doing? Brittany, I'm not worried. Well, I'm not worried. I'm a bit worried. All right. Starlink, Bob. Yeah, well, it's still in a box. I don't know. But my buddy Jason Sutton from Furman has one. And I keep seeing if Louis Stain went away, and it didn't. So I'm, damn it. You know, it never fails. Every shirt I got some memory on. So, second time wearing this shirt, man. I already got Louis Stain on it. But no, the Starlink is, I think it's going to be great. I'll keep it in my truck when I storm chase. I'll keep it in Daytona and Talladega when we go to the NASCAR races. That's been my biggest worry is when we're at Talladega, we're at Daytona. It doesn't matter how many cell phone towers they have. They're all repeaters. Once you get 50,000 people on a cell phone tower, guess what? You have no internet. Everybody knows that. But this doesn't care. It goes up to the sky. And amazing. Jason said he sometimes gets 100 down and like 20 up. That's incredible, man. So, excited about it. 100%. It's only $150 a month. And you could turn it off. I'm paying almost that a month just for 5G, 4G hotspots. Because I have a 4G hotspot and a 5G hotspot that I just pay the $50 reoccurring just to have internet if I ever need it. So this is almost the same price. So anyway, that weather is interesting. The heat dome returns. This is pretty much 820 to 24. That's telling you one thing. This high pressure ain't leaving anytime soon. Hazardous heat. Texas to Florida. Sorry. The question is going to be what happens over here with our potential system developing. And again, there's nothing to worry about it unless you're on the West Coast. Everything else we're talking about is speculative. There's really nothing at all brewing enough to be worried. So if I've done that, I apologize. I try not to make people worry. So that's why I always say refer to the National Hurricane Center. We don't have a named system out there right now. None of this is named. Is that 40%? Did I mess up? Man, I've been messing up a lot lately. Nope, it's 40%. Right here. All right. We don't have a named system, so nothing to worry about. I tell you, so this is the one. This is the one I'm really watching. And of course, Lori, Bermuda, all our Bermuda fans, you're in the middle of it too. Because whatever this thing does, if it sits out here in the Western Atlantic for a few days and develops, where's it go? We'll know more later. How's that for a forecast? I turned on Mike's Larry page and he said, we'll know more later. That's a hell of a forecaster for you right there. Anyway. Yo, hell, have a great weekend, man. So, all right, I'm going to read comments now. So now's a good time to kind of start thinking about your hurricane plans. I've never been a big planner, but it doesn't hurt to start clicking on all my links. I got a National Weather Service hurricane plan prepared links. Lots of great information. I have unbelievable links right here. All these links over the years have been shared to me. All of them. Kids, pets, preparing your home, wind maps. What should I do? So grab a 6-pack from ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, preferably Tampa Bay Brewing Company, and click on some links. Oh, Michelle, I appreciate that. So yeah, Western Gulf, definitely watching like a hawk. You don't want any surprise system at the last second. Let's look at some shear forecasts and stuff like that. We know the water's hot. Let's take a look at some long-range Gulf stuff. I know we've been looking a lot at it, but I'm really curious the latest on some of the shear. So let's just straight up go to 200 and look at Monday, Tuesday, and there's a little line coming down from that high pressure system. So, not really. Man, see, there's a window here. There's Monday. So there's light upper level winds. There is some, that high pressure system is swinging in some strong upper level winds. Out ahead of it. Not that it's going to happen, but I've seen systems. Counterclockwise, they spin counterclockwise. Well, sometimes high pressures can actually help accelerate a system. As you get a low pressure, the high pressure actually helps spin it. But anyway, low pressure on the GFS, Euro, it's really low pressure or low shear, man. Low shear. Interesting. So, watching like a hawk. Let's look at some combined wind shear. I don't know, man. It just doesn't look that bad, really. So shear looks halfway favorable for this thing to try to develop. That's been consistent. Sheer mean. You're sure mean. Here's Wednesday, Tuesday. I mean, there's going to be kind of a high setting up over top of it, sort of. So I mean, it's got a decent little appears like a decent upper level wind pattern to maybe allow it to try to develop a little bit. I know we look at the moisture levels a lot in the upper atmosphere and stuff like that. Humidity. I mean, there's going to be dry air to the north. We got this big high pressure system above. So I mean, that's the one. So the two negatives going against our Gulf system is time, and I just don't know if there's going to be a ton of moisture to work with. So that could help prevent it from becoming anything too severe, large severe, but still decent moisture coming across Florida, across the Gulf. So yeah, it's gonna be suspicious, The upper Gulf's gonna be right on that edge, depending on how far north this thing bumps. So that's interesting. Let's see other things. There's still some leftover sow, believe it or not, dust. So this is another negative for our storm to develop. I think there's still a little bit of dust that's going to be in the atmosphere. Here is what's the day today? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So a little bit of dust. That's on the back side. Here's the 22nd. So there's that dry air coming in from behind it. Remember so this high pressure is helping. So we got this high, and it's going to help push in some of this dust from the backside. So yeah, the chances aren't great that this thing's going to really develop, in my opinion, into anything too strong. But we just never know, man. That Gulf is so hot. There are going to be negatives though to keep it from becoming too much on the backside. So yeah, and then of course we get in the middle next week and look at where did it all go? Where did you go? This is August 27th. The dust is gone. There's then and now. Look now, then. So your dust map. Well, actually, this might be yesterday, the 17th. Here's about now, 18th. Here's now. All that color means it's just dry, dusty air. 10 days. So huge difference in a week plus. All right. So hopefully they invest this thing soon. It's really hard to pick out on where it's at. You can see a little bit possibly that it's trying to show up here in a 700 millibar. They have it marked at, let's see here. They have it marked around 48 maybe. So 48, I would guess, is here. No, that's 53. So they're actually here somewhere. They're kind of picking out that spot. That's 850. So let's go to 850. So they're picking somewhere right here. That's generally where they're at. But it's not. It doesn't have a lot of structure. 500 maybe. No. So it's just they're solely, in my opinion, solely going off of models right now. Somewhere right in here. So really nothing showing up yet. 90. This is 98, and it's definitely got the most amount of spin out there. That's why it's red. But it's luckily going off to the north. And as far as our spaghetti models goes for 98, see so far it's staying east of Bermuda. 99 isn't expected to develop too much. Even the intensity models, which sometimes I don't trust very much, at least is showing 99 not doing anything. So as far as Invest 99 goes, it's down to 40%. Might bring some rain to the islands, northern Caribbean, early week, but at least it's not showing any development anymore. So that one might fall off the radar soon. They might end up giving that a yellow. I would think eventually this one's going to become orange and that one will become yellow. This will probably become orange. This will probably be 40% at 2. So I would think at 2 yellow, and this will become orange and orange. Probably 40, 40, 20. Be my guess. We'll see. Hey, Brew Crew. I went back and looked at the graphic I posted on Monday. I was on it. All right, y'all. Hey, somebody from Iraq. Are you kidding me? Oh, Miguel, I didn't know we had a second preparedness holiday. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I did not. Next week. All right, so Florida, look it up. Another, it looks like is that a 2-weeker? Yep, 2-weeker sales tax holiday coming again. Thanks for that. Yeah, Bob, we did look at shear. So as far as the Caribbean spot goes, one more time, let's just look. So the Euro, first time this season, is actually showing a developing system pulling up out of the Caribbean and possibly becoming something to worry about. So this is next week, 992 developing system. First time the Euros really this season has gone all in. Now, I've been seeing that sign, be talking a lot about this system, and now the Euros going all in on it. The latest Canadian is just showing a broad area of low, but it does pull it up to 998. So the general thinking is the same on the Canadian, and that's really all we got. Oh, we got the UK. We haven't looked at the UK today. I get all excited, man. I didn't even look at the UK. I said, sorry, buddy. Didn't even look at you. Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. It fizzles it out. But there, right here, next Tuesday, spot to watch. It might be fizzling it out as it crosses land. So the UK showing it. Look at, there you go. Next Tuesday. Yep. And it's not really doing much with our Gulf system. Wow. Something else I was going to look at, but I forgot. I don't remember now. That's enough. We talked an hour. That's good. Lord Andrew, thank you, buddy. Ocean currents, Dan. Yeah, I do. Actually, down on the bottom here, I like this setup right here. It's right here. Ocean currents. It's linked to the Knoll School site, but it's really good. It's very good. Very good. And as we discussed with the loop currents and loop eddies, it's a lot of hot water in the Gulf right now. So, our system's going to be basically going right over top of that. Not that it's going to, turn in hopefully anything too strong, but it'll help thunderstorms pop a little more easier. So there'll be fuel underneath our system over these little loop eddies that are out there right now. And, later in the season, we got to really worry about this right here. As far as ocean heat content goes, we don't show this a lot lately because we haven't had any system, but ocean heat content, this is the amount of hot water below the surface, and man, it is hot. This is why I worry about the Western Atlantic. If you've been following me all year, that was my hot spot from day one. Unfortunately, I'm quoted as saying that on the USF Magazine article, but El Nino years seems like systems that find a way to that Western Atlantic are the ones we got to watch. And there's a lot of water temperatures, obviously, that are hot. So that's the area we got to really worry about. And especially the Caribbean. Holy cow, right? Typically, we get a lot of wind shear across that area because of El Nino. I don't think El Nino's really kicked in yet. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if we're officially in El Nino right now. It's weird. I mean, we're at 0.5. The other day I thought I saw, I don't think we're officially in it yet. Where is my paper at? They moved it. Maybe it's right here. Outlooks. Weekly prediction. All right, here we go. I don't know if we are or not. I know the winter, I did a video on the winter El Nino, and if you live in Florida, you need to be prepared because a strong El Nino means very bad weather for Florida. We're at 0.8, but they haven't. But it's climbing. That's the anomaly marker that they use in the Pacific. So it's up. It was 0.5. Now it's 0.8. I'm sure we're in it now. But anyway, that usually brings a lot of wind shear across the Caribbean. And if we look at wind shear anomalies, let's look at that real quick. You can kind of see it, what's going on down there. And typically we get a lot of wind shear in the Caribbean, Western Caribbean especially. And let's see if we can see it. I don't think it's going to be on this. We got to go to the tropical Atlantic. Oh, there it is. Well, it's a little higher up actually, but that's from a low. We don't have our jet stream. There it is, kind of showing a little farther to the south actually. This is typically what we see right here. Would be strong winds coming in from the Pacific. But you can see this gyre kind of taking shape next weekend. This is the following weekend. Look, little bit of stagnant weather right here. So not really seeing true effects yet with the wind shear that we sometimes see. So, all right, everybody. Sherman, man, we're watching you guys out there. California, Mike's in California. Maui, yes, unbelievable. I can't even imagine what those folks are going through out there and hearing these stories. They're seeing the stories. Appreciate everybody buying those flip-flops. Like I said, I just did that on my own. They did send me a pair, but it's good to see people helping people. So there you go. You know, September, October is the months I'm worried about. I didn't think we'd be talking about tropics this early, to tell you the truth. Elwood Farm, thank you for that over there on YouTube. I'm glad. I hope you didn't get a lot of damage. So we'll see if Hilary makes a run at history and be the first hurricane to ever hit California that they know of. And that's that. Oh, I got lunch. Oh, it's only 10:30. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to do some videos. Make sure you follow me over here on YouTube. Appreciate y'all. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I try to hit them all about the same. So, we'll let you know if we do anything last second on anything. Remember, if you are a subscriber, supporter, you know, many years now we've offered supporter perks. You know, everybody over the years always says, hey, how can I support the site? So we're a little different. We try to give things back. You know, a lot of folks just don't, but we do. So one of the cool things Shelly runs is a calendar, and you get text alerts as a Cat 5. So and a lot of other stuff. But I'm saying if I go special live, we'll make sure we let you know somehow. That way you don't miss a thing. And, of course, the app, you know, don't forget I got an app. A lot of folks don't know it, but all the information on Invest 98, 99 is on there. You can watch Daily Brew on there. I send out notifications all the time, so you can get all the latest on Hilary, both our Invest, watch past videos. You can see all my posts. That way you don't get lost in all the cluster of the internet. But, oh, I hit the wrong button there. You can scroll here and see everything I posted today. Because it's really hard. Let me tell you a little bit about social media. If you're really curious about anybody you follow or any news, you can't just scroll and rely on it popping into your feed, because you might get one that's a day old, 2 days old, 3 days old, 6 hours old. So you got to click on whoever's profile and then see it in chronological order, because otherwise you're not going to get the whole story. So you might not think that me or anybody reported on something when in fact it might have been the prior post. So it's so hard on social media. That's why I love the Mike posts, and I have it on the website here too, where you can actually on the page scroll down and see everything I posted this morning. You know, I usually post 10, 12 things in the morning, graphics, updates, everything going on. So it's really hard. So you got to make sure you know understand how to get all the posts and follow whoever you follow. So, all right, have a good weekend. We're watching things close, right? I'll be on it. Thanks, Shelly, for everything you do there on the other side of the coast, and we will see you next time. All right.